What's up, students? It's your boy PGT. Welcome back to class. Today I'm going to teach you how to make your own grain spawn bags for mushroom growing. Bags are a step up from quart jars and they're very efficient in creating a lot of grain spawn. So for today I'll be using millet as my primary grain. The reason why I want to use millets is because of all the small seeds. They're very easy to break up and they create a lot of inoculation points when you break them down. You're welcome to use whatever grains that are available to you in your area. You can use oats, ryeberry, milo. I use bird seeds too. Alright, so the recipe I'm using for these bags consists of 1,000 grams of millet to 500 milliliters of water, and it's going to create roughly 3.5 pounds of grain spawn. Alright, so first thing I do is I weigh out my bags. These are 10T unicorn bags. They weigh about 15 to 17 grams on average. I round them out to about 15 grams per bag. Next, you want to open up your bags, and we're going to start adding our millet grain. So you want about 1,000 grams of millet per bag, and we're going to just weigh this out to 1,017 just to account for the weight of the bag. There we go. Right now you're going to want to measure out your water. We're going to be measuring out 500 milliliters of water. And if you didn't know, 500 milliliters of water is equal to roughly 500 grams of water. So with this, we will add this directly to our grain bag. Looks like I came up a little bit short here, but that's okay. We're good. I'm not going to nitpick about 10 grams of water. You can use a little bit more, a little bit less. As long as you're around 500 grams, you'll be fine. Alright, now here I have some oats and bird seeds that I've soaked overnight with some hot water. They're hydrated now, and I'm going to dry them out to the proper moisture level before I sterilize them. And you want the grains to be dry on the outside while still retaining moisture on the inside. What I like to do is wait until half the grains seem dry and half are still kind of wet. Then I mix them all together to redistribute their moisture content, and they're just about ready to go into your bags or jars for sterilizing. Also, pro tip, I'm using a mesh pet gate over 2 sawhorses as my drying rack. I got my gate from Amazon for like 20 bucks, and they work really well for this purpose. For my soaked grains, since they're hydrated and have expanded in size, what I'm going to do here is weigh them out to about 1,300 to 1,500 grams. This is about 3 pounds of grain spawn, and it's my personal preferred size for my grain bags. You can use more or less, it's your grain bag, so you can fill it up with however much grains you want. I'm going to speed forward this part here, so I'll show you guys how to prep your bags for sterilizing. So with your grain bags filled up, what you want to do is you follow the crease that's on the bag from the top down to the bottom where the grains are, like so. And then once you reach down towards the bottom, you make a small pinch towards the middle of the crease, and then you fold the flap down over onto the bags themselves, and you wrap it around the bottom. So I like to leave the filter patches facing the outside of the bags. I've had some issues in the past where patches would adhere to the plastic if I leave them on the inside. And then when you take them out the pressure cooker and try to take them apart, the filter patches get damaged because they're kind of stuck to the plastic. So pro tip there is to leave them on the outside. So same process goes with my millet bags here. Just make a small pinch towards the middle. Make sure the creases are kind of straightened out. And then I'll fold it over onto the bags themselves, kind of under. And just like that, your bags are ready to get sterilized. I like to do 6 bags per run with my 23 quart Presto canner. Here's a closer look at the grain bags before I put them into the pressure canner. So these soaked grains here are dry on the outside, but they're still plump and moist. So there's no pooling of water on the bags or anything like that. You want to avoid that. And with the millet bags, since we're no soak, no simmering these are still going to be a bit moist on the bags, but the millet does a great job of soaking up all that water throughout the pressure cook process. So one of the most important things here you want to do for your pressure canner before you pressure cook your grain bags is to make sure that your trivet is elevated above the water. So what I did is I took a normal trivet and I modified it by adding some stainless steel screws here to lift it up a little bit. The typical trivets that come with the pressure canners are usually pretty short. So the goal here is to get your bags to sit above the water. You don't want the bags to be sitting in the water. It's going to cause your bags to blow out and you'll have grains all over the pressure cooker. So it's very important that you keep your grains above the water and you keep them happy. So with the trivet in, I'm going to add in 3 quarts of water, and this will bring up my water level to right below where the trivet sits at. Now you can start loading your bags into your pressure canner. It's okay if the bags are touching the sides of the pressure canner. These bags are meant to withstand high heat for sterilizing. So I'll put 3 bags on the bottom layer, and I'll put 3 bags on top of those. So as I put my bags into here, I'll make sure that the flap that opens up the bag is on the bottom so that the bags themselves are resting on top of the open flaps. This kind of helps to prevent the bags from opening up when they're expanding underneath the pressure canner. The last part here, you want to add something on top of your bags to prevent the bags from inflating underneath pressure. This could clog up the safety valve for the pressure canner, and bad things can happen if this does happen to you. So don't chance it. Put something on top to prevent your bags from doing that. I'm using another trivet that I have laying around. If you don't have another trivet, you can also use a ceramic plate on top. That'll do the trick as well. Alright, with the lid popped on, we're going to crank up our heat on high and we'll get this up to boiling temperature. Once your pressure canner starts to get up to boiling temperature, you'll start to notice steam coming out of the safety lock vent here. And if you leave it alone, it'll automatically pop up on its own. I like to speed up this process by holding it down using a rag here so I don't burn myself for 10 seconds, and then I'll release it and the pressure inside will cause that lock to pop up. Now with the lock up, I'm going to leave this on to continue steaming for another 5 minutes or so. I want the steam coming out of the vent hole near the gauge to have a constant stream coming out. This ensures that there's no air in the pressure canner before I add the weight in. And now we're at a full steam. I'm going to go ahead and add my weight on top. And now we'll wait for this to build up to 15 psi. Once we're at 15 psi, I'm going to go ahead and lower the heat on my stove. Keep it at a steady rocking pace. Keep it around like medium high. And set a timer for 2.5 hours at 15 psi. Normally with grain jars you want 90 minutes. With grain bags, since we're dealing with a larger volume of grains, we're going to need to sterilize for a lot longer. So 2.5 hours is the go-to mark. After the timer goes off, I'll shut the heat off and let the pressure cooker cool overnight before I open them up the next day. I like to bring the pressure canner into my lab near my flow hood so I can keep them as sterile as possible when I'm working with them. My first thing is I like to sanitize my gloves with 70% isopropyl alcohol before I handle anything. I've also gone ahead and wiped down my table with the alcohol prior to putting my bags on them. Alright, so with your bags ready, you'll notice that they will have a vacuum seal on them as the grains have expanded and the pressure cook process. So it's kind of hard to work with grains when there's a vacuum seal, so what I do is I like to open them up a little bit so they get a little bit more air into them, and then I'll go ahead and immediately seal these bags underneath an impulse sealer. So what I like to do is I'll go ahead and push down on the handle on the sealer, and I'll hold it there until the light goes off, and I'll hold it there for a few more seconds afterwards because it's still heating up. Then I'll repress it the same spot again to ensure that I have a really good seal onto this. Sometimes you might not get a great seal and you might have to do it a couple times. And then I like to flip the bag over and seal it once more on the opposite side, creating a second seal in there just in case my first seal is bad. I have a second seal as a backup. So this kind of ensures that my bag is completely sealed. Alright, now that we're sealed, I'm going to go ahead and break apart the grains in here. And what I'm going to do is mix this bag up to redistribute the moisture inside here. Some grains are wet, some grains are dry. So as we shake things up here and get them all well mixed up, as the bags will sit, the excess moisture from the wet grains will start to seep over to the dry grains, and it'll kind of rebalance the moisture inside of the bag here. And with your bags fully mixed up, I like to go ahead and get all the excess grain that's sitting on top here to go back down into the bottom of the bag, and you're set. Here's your sterilized grain bag. Now, bags are much easier to work with if you have a flow hood with some sterile air coming out and a clean workspace to work in. I'm sure the same process can be done in a still air box as well. It'll just be a little bit trickier with the limited space, but I've seen people pull it off. Alright, to finish out the bags, we need an injection port. So I'm going to be using pre-made injection ports here from Mycology. So what I'm going to do is spray some alcohol on this towel and wipe down the surface area where I'm going to put my injection ports. And I just love how easy they are to use. You just peel them off and stick them onto your bags and they're ready to go. I'll have links to these in the description below if you're interested in getting some for yourself. Be sure to use code PGT for a discount and help support the channel. Now with the bag sealed, I like to leave them out for at least another day to let the moisture redistribute in the bag before I inoculate them with any kind of culture. And that's how I make my sterilized grain bags. I hope this helps you out in your myco journey. I hope you learned something today, and I hope to see you again in the next video. If you enjoyed my content, hit the like button and subscribe for more mycology videos. If you wish to support me on my mycology endeavors, you can do so by Patreon. And if you want to hang out with other myco enthusiasts and discuss more about mycology, I encourage you to join the PGT Mycology Discord server. We have over 7,000 members, and we're growing every day. So until next time, much love from PGT.